Chapter 3. On the coinage. On the meaning of bullion and coins. 1. All civilized nations use gold and silver for the purpose of money, but these metals in a pure state are too soft to stand the wear and tear of daily use. Some other metal, termed alloy, is mixed with them to harden them, and by a chemical law the mixed metal is harder than either of the others in a pure state. Gold and silver in the mass are termed bullion, but as the laws of all countries which use gold and silver as money define the quantity of alloy which is to be mixed with the pure metal, we shall use the word bullion to mean gold and silver in the mass mixed with the legal quantity of alloy, so as to be fit to be made into money. By the present law of England, standard gold bullion is composed of 22 carats of pure gold and 2 carats of alloy. Standard silver bullion is composed of 11 ounces 2 dwts of pure silver and 18 dwts of alloy. 2. Bullion is further divided into pieces of a certain weight, defined by law, and a certain stamp is placed upon them as a public certificate that they are of the weight and fineness prescribed by law. They are further called by a certain name, and are then intended to be used for the purposes of commerce without further examination. Such pieces of bullion are called coins. This stamp or certificate in no way affects the value of the coin or the quantity of things it will exchange for. Its only object is to save the trouble of weighing and assaying the metal in commercial transactions. Nor can the name of a coin affect its value. Values are estimated in the number of these coins, but it is necessarily implied in the bargain that these coins contain a definite quantity of bullion of the legal fineness. On the meaning of the mint price and market price of gold and silver. 3. As the very purpose of coining is to certify that the pieces of bullion are of a certain definite weight and fineness, it is evident that a fixed quantity of bullion, as a pound weight, must be divided into a fixed number of coins. The number of coins into which a given quantity of bullion is divided by law, is called the mint price of that quantity of bullion. By the law at present in force, 40 pounds weight of standard gold bullion are divided into 1,869 coins, called pounds or sovereigns, hence 1 pound weight of bullion is coined into 461. 145. 6d: or, as the value of gold is estimated by the ounce, 1 ounce of gold bullion is coined into 31. 175. 104d, which is called the mint price of gold. The legal weight of the pound or sovereign is 5 dwts. 3,771 grains, containing 113,675 grains of fine gold. Sovereigns which fall below 5 dwts. 28 grains, and half sovereigns which fall below 2 dwts. 135 grains, cease to be legal tender. 4. It is clear that the mint price of bullion is a fixed quantity, it can by no possibility vary, unless the law orders a different number of coins to be coined out of the same quantity of bullion. In the time of William the Conqueror the pound weight of silver bullion was coined into 240 pence, hence the mint price of silver was eel: but in the time of Elizabeth the pound weight of silver was coined into 744 pence, or the ounce of silver was coined into 62 pence, hence the mint price of silver was 31. 25. Per pound, or 55. 2d. Per ounce. To alter the mint price of bullion is merely an expression which means an alteration in the legal weight of the coinage. 5. When coins have been for some time in circulation, they necessarily lose some part of their weight from wear and tear. But people are so accustomed to attach a certain value to the sight of a certain coin that they do not inquire too curiously whether it is of the legal weight or not, so that coins may pass for some time at their nominal value in exchange for commodities and services after they have lost much of their legal weight. As Shakespeare says, "'Tween man and man they weigh not every stamp, though light, take pieces for the figure's sake." But when coins are taken in exchange for bullion the case is different, for then the coins are always exchanged weight for weight with bullion, so that if the coins have lost their legal weight a greater number of them must be given for a given amount of bullion than if they were of full weight. Supposing that the mint price of gold is 31. 175. 10d. Per ounce, or that an ounce of gold is divided into that number of coins, then if they had lost a good deal of their weight from any cause, it might take 41. 55. to be equal in weight to an ounce of gold. The quantity of the current coin which is equal in weight to a given quantity of bullion is called the market price of that amount of bullion, and when the coins are depreciated more of them must be given to purchase any amount of bullion than if they were of full weight. The market price will then be apparently higher than the mint price, and this is called a rise of the market price of bullion above its mint price, and it is quite clear that this is due to the depreciation of the coinage. Hence we have this fundamental law of the coinage: when the market price of bullion rises above the mint price, the excess is the proof and the measure of the depreciation of the coinage. On Gresham's law of the coinage. 6. Aristophanes first noticed the fact at Athens that when a debased coinage was issued along with a good coinage, the good coins all disappeared from circulation, and the debased ones alone remained. This fact, which has been invariably observed in all countries, was long the puzzle of financiers and statesmen. Formerly the coinage in this country used to suffer very much from clipping and other bad practices. All efforts to amend it by issuing good coin from the mint were found to be unavailing, as the good coin invariably disappeared, and the bad coin alone remained in circulation. Sir Thomas Gresham first explained the cause, hence we have called it Gresham's law of the coinage. It is a fundamental law of the coinage that bad money drives out good money from circulation, or, as it is expressed in an old pamphlet, when two sorts of coins are current in the same nation, of like value by denomination, but not intrinsically, that which has the least value will be current, and the other as much as possible hoarded, or exported. The reason of this is very simple. Suppose that full-weighted coins and depreciated coins are allowed to circulate together, one of two effects must inevitably follow. Either those persons who have commodities to sell will make a difference in their nominal price, according as they are paid in good or in light coin, that is, the light coin will be at a discount as compared with the good coin, or if there be a law to prevent this, and to force both to pass at the same nominal value, everyone will endeavor to discharge his debt at the least possible expense. He will always try to pay his debts in the light coin. As the full-weighted coins are forced down below their real value in this country, bullion dealers immediately collect all they can and melt them down, or export them to foreign countries, where they will pass at their real value. Thus the good coins quickly disappear from circulation. What is a pound? 7. We must now explain how a certain weight of gold bullion came in the present day to be called a pound. The original measure of value in England, France, and Italy was formerly the pound weight of silver bullion. No coin of this weight was ever struck, but the pound weight of silver bullion was coined into 240 pieces, called pence. 12 of these pence were called a shilling, or solidas, and therefore 20 shillings, or solidi, made a pound. Now let pounds denote a pound weight of silver in the form of bullion, and let L denote the same weight of bullion in the form of coin. Then we have 240 pence equals 20 shillings equals 1 litre equals 1 pound. Now if the pound weight of silver were cut into more than 240 pieces, that greater number of pieces would still be equal to the pound weight. And if we always denote 240 pieces or pence by the same symbol, L, whatever their weight may be, we should have the I pounds of silver equal to EL, plus the number of pieces above 240. This is what the sovereigns of all these countries have done. Being unable to increase the quantity of silver, they adopted the fraudulent plan of cutting the pound weight of silver into more than 240 pieces. In 1300 Edward I cut the pound weight of silver into 243 pence. Subsequent sovereigns followed this evil example, until at last in the time of Elizabeth the pound weight of silver was coined into 744 pence. Then we have manifestly 744 pence equals 62 shillings equals 31. 25 equals 1 pound. As there are 12 ounces in the pound weight of silver, each ounce was coined into 62 pence, and hence the mint price of silver was said to be 55. 2d. per ounce. 8. In course of time gold was coined into money concurrently with silver. In the reign of Charles II, the African company brought home a large quantity of gold from the Guinea coast. He coined this gold into pieces which he called guineas, and which were intended to be of the value of 20 shillings, so as to represent the L. But the mint rating of the coins did not agree with the relative values of gold and silver in the market of the world. In 1717 Sir Isaac Newton The Master of the Mint reported to Parliament that the true value of the guinea was 20s. 81. In silver. Nevertheless the guineas were declared to be current at 215, and then in the language of the mint the price of gold was fixed at 31. 175. £10 d. per ounce. 9. Gold and silver coin were then declared to be legal tender for debts of any amount. But as gold was overrated by 4d. in the L, and silver was underrated by the same rate, merchants in the course of the last century universally adopted the custom of paying their debts in gold in preference to silver, as being the cheaper medium, and, in accordance with Gresham's law, the silver coins were exported as being depressed below their true value in this country. Gold thus gradually became the measure of value in England, and for exactly the opposite reason silver came to be the measure of value in France. In 1816 this custom was adopted as law, and gold was declared to be the only legal measure of value to an unlimited amount, and the sovereign was struck to represent the value of 20 shillings in silver or the L. 10. The coinage of gold is free to the public, but the coinage of silver and bronze is retained in the hands of the government. In order to obviate the effect of Gresham's law, the value of silver is artificially raised. Since 1816 the pound weight of silver has been coined into 66 shillings. But 4 of these are retained for the expenses of coinage, and the 62 lighter shillings are declared to be of the same value as the previous heavier ones. Thus 20 of them are declared to be equal in value to the sovereign, and thus their value is artificially raised about 6%. But to prevent injustice being done, they are not legal tender for any sum above 40s, it having been intended to make the double sovereign the monetary unit. The bronze coins are only worth about 1/4 of their nominal value. Pence and halfpence are only legal tender for the value of 1 shilling, and farthings to the value of 6pence.